T-A-C-T. Not tacks on the wall that you hang posters with. Remember back in the day, you put the posters on the wall? That's how old I am. I don't know if kids do that anymore or not, but we used to get tacks and put posters in, whether it was bands or our guys or girls we liked or had crushes on or TV shows, whatever it was. There was always like this place you could go to, like Spencer's or Walmart, and they would have posters you could flip through, these little plastic posters, and you'd be like E3, and you could grab those always. I had a Marine Corps poster on the wall when I was in high school because I wanted to go in the Marines, and that's what we're going to talk about today. T-A-C-T, tact. It's one of the 14 leadership principles. We've gone through justice, judgment, dependability, initiative, decisiveness, and now we are at tact. And so what is the definition of tact according to the Marine Corps? With leadership, it is this: the ability to deal with others in a manner that will maintain good relations and avoid offense. More simply stated, tact is the ability to say and do the right thing at the right time. This is something that today we get so worried about offending people that we won't say the right thing at the right time. And this is important, to say the right thing at the right time. You could say the right thing at the wrong time. You could say the wrong thing at the right time. But to say the right thing at the right time requires you to have a little bit of patience, to not let your emotion get involved, to think it through. I always say, how can I create value in this constructive criticism that I'm going to give? How can I let them see it and shine a light on it for them? All I'm going to do, there's an elephant in the room, and I need to have a conversation about the elephant in the room. My responsibility in coaching, the way I'm going to be tactful about it, is I'm going to be the guy that holds the flashlight. And I'm going to be like, hey, watch my light. Oh, here's an elephant. I don't have to say anything. I shine the light on the elephant, and they're like, oh, yeah, boss. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. You know, here's circumstance, but that's what I need to show. In coaching, let me give you an example. It's as simple as this. So let's say somebody forgot to give me a report. It's real basic. I asked for a weekly report, and they forgot to send it to me. I will walk by their office and see how they're doing. Hey, Bill, how's it going? How's the family doing? Everything going good? Oh, perfect. And I won't say a word. And I usually, 70, 80% of the time, I'm going to get, oh, yeah, I forgot. Or I'll get an email 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes later. And then I'll wait, because I can be patient and I can wait. And then the report will come through. They may not say anything, or they may say something. Depends if they're introverted or extroverted. But I get that report because it will click in their head. And I didn't have to go in there and be like, hey, Bill, where's my report? Or send an email, say, hey, you're 30 minutes late. That's saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. Saying the right thing at the right time to avoid offense. Think of me, it's serving others. This is servant leadership. It's putting them first. So how do you shine the light on the elephant in the room? Let's say you've got something serious going on. I'm talking something serious. And you need to bring it up. So how are you going to be tactful about it? The best thing to do is to ask questions when you're coaching, and ask those questions. You need to think it through with the questions. Ask the questions where it leads them to be able to the answer. And then if it's not coming out, you got to use my thing. I'm telling you, this works every time. And what else? After you ask a question, I heard, there was, one of the team members and a couple other team members have said that there's been some cheating going on with this salesperson. And I've had several conversations with 3 or 4 different people, and now I'm approaching you on this. This is a pretty serious offense, what they're talking about. And so if they're cheating the client, then I need to know about this. And so I need to ask you on this. What have you heard? Not what do you know, but what have you heard about this? Well, I've heard this about this. And then you say, and what else? And listen. Every time when somebody gives you, say, and what else, the next part that's going to come out of their mouth, well, to be honest with you, boss, when you hear that, well, to be honest with you, that you need to listen. Don't take offense. Don't get emotional. Listen. And you need to appreciate. If somebody says, well, I'll be honest with you, before you speak, and then they go through and you'd say, one, I really want to let you know that I appreciate you being honest with me. It's so important to say that. I appreciate you talking with me today. That's tactfulness, guys. And you think in the Marine Corps, being tactful? Yeah, it's very tactful. Like I said, I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years. I did 4 years, and then I did an extra year because they had paperwork and all kinds of stuff. I was supposed to go in the reserves, but I spent active duty 5 years total. And during that active duty time, I can remember, besides after I got out of boot camp and all that, where they're yelling at you and you see all that, and I did infantry training and all that stuff. After you get out of that, I can't remember how many higher up officers would yell at me. I don't remember. I can't pinpoint a moment or a time when I got yelled at. We would yell at each other, or like one rank up and one rank down. But I'm talking like, it's always very professional. We showed tremendous amounts of respect, but it's not what you think it is. Boot camp and all that stuff is that way because they're trying to get you to understand the severity of what's going on and then kind of reprogram you to be able to operate under stress. So significance. Marine Corps says this: the quality of consistently treating peers, seniors, and subordinates with respect and courtesy is a sign of maturity. Immature leaders put people down. Immature leaders don't respect people. You can always respect someone. They may not be a good leader, but maybe they're an amazing dad, and you've seen that in action. I see this all the time. They shouldn't be in a leadership position, or either you need to take the time, if they're one of your leaders, to teach them leadership. If they're an amazing dad, they can transfer that with coaching and be soft. And if they're excellent with coaching and they're soft, they're not as like hard as you want, as like as strict as you want on the leadership side. All that can be taught. You don't let them lead in their own way. Somebody that understands coaching and asks questions in a very soft way, a lot of times can get more information out. Introverts do an amazing job at being a leader. The quality of consistently treating peers, seniors, and servants with respect and courtesy is a sign of maturity. Tact allows commands, guidance, and opinions to be expressed in a constructive and beneficial manner. It allows people from all ranks to be able to give their opinion and be respected when they give that opinion. You need to allow your team to give their opinions. You need to allow your team to express themselves, no matter how absurd or wacky it may seem. And when somebody says something that the other members are trying to disrespect them, you need to call that out in front of the team. Hey, guys. I say something. Hey, let's not be disrespectful towards one another. Everybody has opinions here. And everybody needs to be heard and expressed. And you need to be patient enough to listen what's important to that person talking right now. Because I would hope they would show the same respect back to you. Nip that shit in the bud, guys. It's so easy. That's a sign of maturity, isn't it? Now everybody's like, whoa. People respond to that in a good way as a leader. Tact allows commands, guidance, and opinions to be expressed in a constructive and beneficial manner. This deference must be extended under all condition, regardless of true feelings. Must be extended under all conditions, regardless of true feelings. Guys, this emotion thing, I told you, you've got to be self-aware enough to understand the emotion is not real. It is not real. That emotion that you're feeling, study neuroscience. Pull it out. Type in neuroscience emotion. They're little pumps that are spraying chemicals in your brain that's causing that emotion. That's all it is. It's an evolutionary psychology, fight or flight. The jealousy, love feeling, all these things are just... They're different little pumps in your brain that spray this little chemical like, and then that's what causes you to fire emotionally. That's all it is. I don't need that. As a leader, I don't need those things. Because I know that I'm going to respond off the data that's given me, the facts that are there, and I'm going to be logical about it. My true feelings does not matter in the situation because that's narcissistic, right? You're making me feel this way, so you have to deal with it because I'm the leader. I disregard everybody else's feelings, but how I'm feeling about the situation. Who cares how you feel about the situation? It has nothing to do with you. You're a servant leader. It has everything to do with your team. How does your team? You may not like it, but your team loves it. If it's not detrimental to the company and it's something that is not a big deal, then let it happen. I used to let people be 10, 15 minutes late all the time. I don't care. What would I say? Hey, if you're 10, 15 minutes late, make it up during your lunchtime, a break, or, stay a little bit later. But if you guys are late, I know you guys are doing stuff, if you're consistently late all the time and then you're leaving early too, that shows me that you don't like the job, and maybe we need to have a conversation about that. That's being dishonest. You said that you would show up at this time and do this thing. 10, 15 minutes late, I'm not too concerned about. 10, 15 minutes late and leaving 10, 15 minutes early, there I have a problem with. So here's an example of tact from the Marine Corps. A Marine discreetly points out a mistake in drill to an NCO, that's a non-commissioned officer, by waiting until after the unit has been dismissed and privately asking which of the two methods are correct. Isn't that so good? He didn't point out the mistake. He just said, hey, which of the two methods are the best way for this? Do you think it's this way or this way? And he did it discreetly and privately. Jesus talked about this in the Bible, like when you have an offense with a brother, go talk to them privately. Have that. First, check your emotions. Maybe it's you and you don't even have a conversation. Number two, if it needs to be dealt with, talk to them privately. If that doesn't work, then bring somebody else and another leader in and have a conversation with them. It's that simple, guys. Tactfulness. It goes a long, long way to show, one, your maturity, and to show that you respect others and that you respect the work that you're doing. You respect your company. We need more respect nowadays. We don't have enough of it. Everybody's living in their own narcissism, and no one's willing to take the time to have humility and respect.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.